The following segment is sponsored by Hemp Haven. You know, in today's world, people are always looking for alternatives and solutions to help their lives be better, so they can feel better, whatever it is. That's why today I'm so excited to introduce to you Dr. Denise Foster. She is from Hemp Haven in Chesapeake. Welcome, Denise, Dr. Denise.
Thank you, Christy.
So tell us about Hemp Haven. What exactly is that?
Hemp Haven is a hemp-derived dispensary, meaning that everything that is in my store is licensed and regulated under the Farm Bill. That is the Agricultural Improvement Act that was signed into law in 2018, which legalized hemp as long as it meets certain specifications. Where my expertise lies is actually in the education and advocacy side.
Tell us the difference between CBD and hemp. Now, as I see it, do they all come from the same plant, or like, how do you differentiate the two?
The confusion lies in the plant itself. Cannabis is a family of plants. In the family of plants, the way that I analogize this is lettuce. You have several forms of lettuce. You might like head lettuce, you might like bib lettuce, you might like romaine lettuce, but they're all forms of lettuce. Cannabis has 3 plants, one of which is truly just a weed. No pun intended. We just know that it has no purpose. It doesn't
have some purpose.
It doesn't have any purpose except being a noxious weed.
Okay.
So we throw that one out. Then we're left with 2 plants. One is typically referred to as marijuana. This is your cannabis plant. This is the plant that we associate with the impairing effects of the compound known as THC. Whereas hemp is its cousin. It has very minimal to no THC, but yet is high in CBD. So the plants are almost extreme opposites in that marijuana or cannabis gives you this feeling of impairment, even in small doses, whereas hemp, we avoid impairment. And really, the CBD is the primary compound that we find in the hemp plant.
How did you get into studying or doing what you do with Hemp Haven?
Our nursing profession is the only healthcare profession that recognizes this phenomenon of medical marijuana is not going away. And so about 10 years ago, I began working with medical cannabis patients across the country, helping them understand how to use medical marijuana. And from that, I learned all about the compounds and what they do. And it's really not the plant that makes the difference, it's the compounds within the plant. And that's why we can tailor a product specifically for everyone's needs.
So if I recall, they legalized marijuana, like using it, in 2021, in August, July, whatever. So what are the laws nowadays pertaining to cannabis and CBD and THC and hemp?
All right, so cannabis, or what we formerly know as marijuana, in Virginia was legalized under Governor Northam, and up right now, adults per household are allowed over 21 to grow 4 plants per household or possess an ounce on them without fear of criminal prosecution. Hemp laws are actually regulated under the United States Department of Agriculture. There is the Industrial Farm Bill, which is known as the Agricultural Improvement Act of 2018. This legalized any hemp in the United States for any purpose as long as it meets the Farm Bill regulation of less than 0.3% Delta 9 THC by dry weight. So any hemp plant is going to have very minimal THC. The laws as we move forward are going to be changing as more jurisdictions like Virginia Beach, Norfolk, wherever, they decide what is going to be right for their municipality with regard to the adult use laws. I don't see that happening for a couple more years.
Okay, what about hemp? Isn't there something different about hemp? Didn't Biden just sign something?
In 2022, in December of
last year.
December of 2022, historic cannabis legalization or federal legalization was created in the fact that we are now allowed to research it. President Biden in 2022 of December signed into law the Cannabidiol and Marijuana Research Expansion Act. This provided for the first time federal money for institutions who want to research cannabis as an alternative, including places like the National Institutes of Health and the Department of Defense. The other thing that it did was it allowed your doctor for the first time to talk to you about cannabis as a potential alternative. Before this law was enacted, it was against the law.
If someone wants to come see you, tell them where to go, what your address is, and where to get more information on all this.
We're at 480 Kempsville Road, and that is in the Greenbrier section of Chesapeake. We are on that major corridor between Great Bridge and if you go all the way to Norfolk on Kempsville Road, or you can drop off in Virginia Beach. We're open 11 to 6 Monday through Friday, and 11 to 3 on Saturdays, closed on Sundays.
Hemp Haven in Chesapeake. Do you have a website?
We do, hemphavenwellness.com.